Okay, so it says, past simple regular verbs. Are these sentences true or false? Remember the rules. We use the past simple for things in the past which have finished.
True.
Of course, it's true. We use the past simple for things that are happening now.
False.
Of course, this is a present continuous or present progressive. We use the past simple for single events or situation in the past.
True.
Of course, it's true. We use the past simple for repeated events in the past.
True.
Okay, with used to. I used to play, I used to swim. We only use the past simple for things a long way back in the past.
It's false. True.
It's true. We use the past simple for things a long way back in the past and things in the recent past.
False.
False.
Okay. We use the auxiliary then or didn't to form questions and negative in the past simple.
True.
Of course, it's true. And we use the auxiliary have to form the question in negative in the past simple.
False.
It's false, of course. This is with present or the present perfect tenses. Let's go with exercise 3. It says, circle the sentences A or B. What of these are correct? Did he talk to you or did he talk to you? A or B?
The letter B, did he talk to you?
Of course. They not liked the film or they didn't like the film.
The
second,
letter
they
B?
didn't like the film.
Yes, of course. They didn't like the film. We planned to go on a trip around the United States, or we planned to go on a trip around the United States. It's about spelling. It's letter B.
Teacher, letter B.
It's letter B, yes. I tried to help her, or I tried to help her. It's a correct spelling.
Letter B.
Of course. Remember, when your verb in past simple or a regular verb finishes with Y, you omit the letter Y and you add IED. Try, like in this one. Cry, cried. Good? The door opened and we went in, or the door opened and we went in.
The letter B.
Of course, it's a correct in your spelling, is letter B. We decided to go home, or we decided to go home with one E or just one ED.
Letter B.
Of course, with letter B, we decided to go home. They stopped working and went for lunch, and they stopped working and went for lunch.
Letter A.
A.
Of course, it's letter A. Remember, the spelling, but the sound is the same, but it's a correct spelling is with letter A. Right? Questions, comments, doubts?
Can you repeat number 5?
The door opened and we went in, or the door opened and we went in? Is letter B, because according to your spelling, is letter B. Good. Another question for this? No questions?
Oh, no for me, teacher.
No, and the rest?
No, teacher.
Okay, so please let's go with your present perfect simple and present perfect continuous exercises. As you can see on your screen or in the screen. And it says, write sentences in the correct group. These are the usages. To say how many times, when the result is more important, to say how long, to talk about a finished activity, when the action is more important, all right? Those are the usages for present perfect and present perfect continuous. So you have to manage, you have to join this according present perfect or present perfect continuous.
Okay. For example, teacher, the second. Okay. Isn't it it or?
Sorry. Tell me what happened. I'm sorry. So for example, what are the usages for present perfect simple?
The second for me is the present perfect simple to talk about a recent action which might not be finished.
Yes.
I think to say how many times is present perfect continuous.
No, it's present perfect. And to talk about the recent action which might not be finished, could be in the present perfect or in the present perfect continuous. Okay, in both cases you can use this rule. Okay. To talk about life experience.
Present perfect continuous.
Present perfect.
Present perfect. Present perfect.
It's present perfect. Yes, it's only present perfect. Yes, of course. When the result is more important.
Present perfect.
Okay. To explain the side effects of an activity, why the kitchen is a mess.
Present perfect for me, teacher.
To explain the side effects of an activity, present perfect continuous.
Okay.
Good. To talk about a finished activity.
Present perfect.
Continuous.
Continue.
Yeah. Why? Because present perfect is you do the action right now, past and right now.
And present perfect continuous is in this moment or continue the activity.
It's a continuous, but in a specific period of time, possibly the action finish. He estado jugando todo el día and I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. To talk about a finished activity, okay? And when the action is more important.
Present perfect.
What?
Present perfect continuous.
Of course.
When the action is more important.
Okay, number 2 question with this. Remember, these are the usages. It's important to recognize the usage for the present perfect, or not only for present perfect, but the rest of the times, past, future. Okay. Number 2, complete sentences using the verb in brackets in the present perfect simple or continuous. Number 1,
I have written 5 emails today.
okay, I have written 5 emails today. Yes. Sorry, the kitchen's a mess. Oli, this one.
Have cooked?
Has cooked?
Has been cooking?
Has
Yes.
been cooking.
Has been cooking. Sorry, I'm late. Have you
Been waiting long?
been waiting long? Yes. He learned English for 6 years.
He has been learning.
Has been. He has learned English for 6 years.
Okay, in this case, you can use present perfect or present perfect continuous. Both are right. Okay, he aprendido inglés por 6 años. He estado aprendiendo inglés por 6 años. So, both are possible. And the last one, number 5, it says, I see the film. It was terrible.
I have been
So?
told.
I have seen that film.
Of course, it's present perfect. Yes.
Oh,
I have seen the film. It was terrible. It's awful. It's so rich.
mhm.
Yeah, I have seen. Get it? Questions with present perfect and past simple, students. Questions?
No.
No questions. Okay. Let's make an speaking activity, right? Let's make a speaking activity. Do you like tongue twisters?
Yes.
Ah, but in English, of course. Yeah, do you like tongue twisters? Okay. So it says, Natalie or Natalia?
Natalie.
No, it's Natalie. So it says, you're gonna listen, okay? You're gonna listen, and then you are going to repeat. So it's important to practice the abilities, okay? It's very easy, Natalie, don't worry. It says, Fizzy Wizzy was a bird, Fizzy Wizzy had no hair, Fizzy was a Fizzy, Fizzy was he. Come on, students. One more time, all right?
All
It
right.
says, Fizzy Wizzy was a bird, Fizzy Wizzy had no hair, Fizzy Wizzy was a Fizzy was he. So, Natalie, can you repeat it?
It was he. Only it.
It's easy. Come on.
One more time, teacher, please.
Okay. Fizzy Wizzy was a bird. Fizzy Wizzy had no hair. Fizzy Wizzy wasn't fizzy, was he? Come on. Come on, students. Okay, an easier tongue twister, okay? So it says, I feel a funny feel, a funny feel, a feel, I feel, then feel, a feel, I feel. I feel a funny feel, a funny feel, the feel, I feel, then feel, the feel, I feel. Who wants to try? Karina? Arthur?
If you feel
Alonso?
funny,
I feel a funny feel, a funny feel, the feel, I feel, then feel, the feel, I feel. Carla? Daniel? Lisette? Lupita? Itzel? Alonso? Adriana? Who wants to try? Ay, come on, Carla. It's
Maybe
easy.
you show us the
Can you repeat the,
tongue
please?
twister. Maybe
I feel,
I can.
okay, I'm gonna repeat. I feel a funny feel, a funny feel, I feel, I feel, then feel, I feel, I feel. What? I feel a funny feel, the feel, I feel, then feel, the feel, I feel. I feel a funny feel, then feel, the feel, I feel.
I feel a funny feel, I feel. If you feel the feel, I feel, a funny feel, you feel.
A cloud, you're close. An easier one. Can you kana sa or can kana can? Can you kana sa or can kana can? Can you kana sa or can kana can? Come on, guys. It's easy. Can you kana sa or can kana can? Can you kana sa or can kana can? Lupita, do you want to try?
No, teacher, only listen, can you can, a can, a so can.
You're close. An easier one? An easier. Uno más fácil. It says, Peter pipe kepa pipe peka sa peka pika purpose Peter pipe pigi Peter pipe peka pika purpose pora pila pila piper speak.
Peter pick up us.
Yeah, it's like a pepe peka speak up but in English. Peter piper pika pico purpose a pico purpose Peter piper pig. If Peter piper pico purpose, what are the pico purpose Peter piper picked? But faster.
Teacher send this trabalenguas.
Yeah.
Right, please.
No.
And then the practice.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat your. Okay, that's right. Peter piper purpose a pico purpose Peter piper pick purpose what a pico purpose Peter piper picked. Peter piper pick. Peter piper pick peppers a pickle peppers Peter pick. If Peter piper pick peppers, where are the pickle peppers Peter piper picked?
Peter Piper picked a pick pickle peppers pick of pickled peppers per pike per picket. That's all I remember.
Come on, so you're close, you're close. The last one. It says it's very easy. Very border book some border, but some said the border bitter. If the border people welcome me because bitter border.
Again, please, more slowly.
Okay. Betty butter bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If put in my body, I will make my bitter butter. I was done right. Listen, practice your listening.
Teacher, can you repeat it, please?
Okay. Betty butter bought some butter, but some said the butter is bitter. If I put in my body, I will make my butter butter.
Okay, so very bother about some bother, but she she say the bother's bitter, and 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 I and I can continue.
Okay, but not to try to say faster.
So very bother, but so bother, but she said the bother's bitter, and I can continue. I don't
But
remember.
faster.
Very bother about some bother, but she said the bother's bitter.
Faster. Much faster.
Very bother about some bother, but bother to and very about some bother, but now very
Ah,
bother, but she said the bother's bitter.
faster.
Very bother about some bother, but she said bother's bothered that very bothered, so very bothered about some bother, but I can't, teacher, I can't.
Come on, it's so easy, students. Okay. Have you ever apologized to someone or to somebody else? Have you ever apologized to somebody else?
Yes.
Yes. In what case or in what situations?
When I lost their things.
Okay. Or what happened when the boys arrived late for a meeting? What happened with the girls? Nah, it's not possible. You are late again. I don't want to love you anymore. Oh, my darling, please, I'm sorry. This is apologize. I said, excuse me, I'm sorry. I am not going to do anymore, please. So, complaining and apologizing. Or, for example, Lupita, imagine that you are sleeping at home comfortable at 3 a.m. and suddenly your neighbor starts a party at 3 a.m. at night. No? Or when it's or when it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and your neighbor starts like this one. I says, oh, come on, now you cover it with the swallow your head. And I come on, it's not possible. It's 6 a.m. This is complaining and apologizing. No? So he says in this case, let me wait because I am not sure my. Yes.
Can you tell me, please, what page of the book it is?
Yes, of course. So it's a page. It is page 85.
Of the singing book or workbook?
Student book.
Thanks, teacher.
Algo, lamentablemente se me olvidó comentarles, chicos. Al parecer todavía no hay prime time. ¿Sale? Todavía no salen a vender los libros de prime time. ¿Sale? ¿Ustedes ya tienen el libro? ¿Yes?
¿De cuál, teacher?
El prime time, el que estamos ocupando, el rojo.
Ah, pensaba que era uno nuevo. Sí.
No. Okay. I am excited. Okay, so please open your book on page 85. Student book, please. Complaining and apologizing.
Leave rubbish outside their house. Children make a lot of noise. Children damage property. Play loud music. Let their dog bark all day and night. Park in front of your driveway.
It says, these are some actions as some people or we used to do in our daily lives. No, or for example, or maybe in 6 states in Mexico, in the United States, people play loud music. She overheard the radio and with a higher volume as possible, people listening to music. I said, hey, guy, can you download your volume? No. Because it's a mess listening to music loudly. It's not my matter. It's not matter to me. Or in this case, complaining and apologizing is, for example, when you do actions and these actions are not so good for the other people. For example, leave rubbish outside their house. No, or what happens, for example, when you go on the street or when you open your outdoor house and you find lots of rubbish in your doorway. What did you say in this case? Nah, who was it? Because let me hear the rubbish. No, so this is leave rubbish outside your house. Tirar la basura. No? Children make a lot of noise. No, it's a typical situation in the schools, right?
When they broke like, I forget it. ¿Cómo se dice ventana? En inglés se me olvidó, teacher.
Window?
Window. It's an example.
Can be, unless, for example, in the schools, when you say, okay, kid, please, you can play, but don't shout. And for a minute, the students relax. When this says children make a lot of noise, and it's possible to concentrate on what you are looking at, what you are doing in that moment. No? And through little onto your property. What is it, for example? Can you help me? How you help me throwing the rubbish from, on the boat? And you ignore them. I know. Or you're looking for some rubbish. It's not mine. I'm not going to love to the rubbish boat. This is for little onto your property. I let their dog bark all night. It's a difficult situation. Mainly, this situation let their dog bark all night. In the evenings, of course. No, you try to sleep, you try to have dinner with your family, with your friend, or whoever you want, and or with your dog at home. No, por más que dicen cállate, cállate y cállate, parece que le dices con ese cállate, le dices ladra más y ladra más, y no se diga cuando empiezan a aullar, no los callas. So this is let your dog bark at night. Park in front of your driveway. No estacionarse, se ponchan llantas gratis. Cuando alguien estaciona su carro enfrente de tu casa y no te deja salir, y por más que le estás pite y pite y pite, les vale gorro. Y no salen a mover sus carros. Now this is let park the car in the side, right? Question with the vocabulary, students. Lupita, Carla, Tocayo, Daniel. No questions?
No, teacher.
No questions. Okay, so it says exercise 3. Student book, Everyday English. And it says, find the sentences in the dialogue which mean. In this case, you have to read, okay, the text, and you have to identify which of these sentences have a similar meaning according to the sentences in the text. It's a these questions or these phrases are synonyms or words for you to have the part in the text. Can I help you? So,
Can I do for you?
what can I do for you? Of course, there are synonym phrases. There are matching signs phrases. Well, for example, I want to tell you a little bit high. I apologize.
I really sorry.
I'm really sorry.
I could be like, I'm sorry. Now, so in this case, I'm really sorry about that. Excuse me, sorry, and I apologize to you. Can I discuss something with you?
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Could I talk to you for a minute? Yeah, for sure. I sure not. I didn't know it was a problem.
I will make sure it doesn't happen again.
I didn't realize it was bothering anyone. So what's the matter? This is, I didn't realize it was bothering anyone. What's the matter? What's the problem? Right? That would be great. It's like a fantastic. That's awesome.
It's really appreciated.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, did you see? You can use the phrase in another word, but the meaning is the same. And there are not only phrases in English. You can use adjectives. You can use verbs with similar meaning or with the same meaning, but their spelling is different. Questions with this? No questions? No questions, Dubs, about this? Okay, guys. Grammar, infinitives, and ing forms. Have you ever heard about this topic? What is an infinitive? What is the ing form? Or how can you use an infinitive? Carla, do you remember this?
The infinitive?
Well, okay, come on. But first of all, wait me on, Carla, wait me on. You have the first round and come on. A ver, chicos, se integra una compañera nueva. Oh, yes. Fernanda, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, teacher.
¿Cómo te va?
Bien. Llegando.
Hace mucho que no te veía desde qué, ¿del año pasado?
El año pasado.
No, básico, ¿qué fue? ¿Básico 3? Algo así, ¿no?
Sí, básico 3.
No, pues ya tiene su ratito.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, don't worry. Bien. And this Fernanda and Carla.
Okay.
Okay. So, no es que tengo dos Carlas, entonces las tengo
okay.
que diferenciar una de la otra, si no.
Bueno, yo también me llamo Fernanda.
Ok. Entonces, para distinguir Fernanda y Carla, ¿va?
Okay.
Okay, so in this case, what is an infinitive? If I say,
the verb in simple form.
okay, of course, with a simple form.
In some case, this verb write with to or without to, but in simple form. For example, to sing, to jump, to study, to learn.
If I say, tell me an example using infinitive like a purpose. Or if I say, tell me an example using ing form like a subject. Or tell me an example using infinitive with the verb infinitive.
He study English for change your life, for example.
For the purpose, and he's going to study to study.
Okay, it's possible. If I say, is it possible to use a verb with ing like a subject?
Learning English in this moment.
Yes,
But like a subject.
yes, yes. I am yes. Like I said, yes.
So because you said, I am studying English. And if I say studying English is hard.
Yes.
Getting a point is easy. So what is the ing form and what is infinitive? Or how many types of infinitives or ing forms are there in the English language? So in this case, you are going to get 15 minutes to research the topic online. Okay, and then we are going to make a discussion about this, and I'm going to explain you with specific points about the usages of verb infinitives or ing forms. Get it? Go ahead, guys. The time is yours. 15 minutes.
For the subject infinitive?
Yeah, ing forms and
Okay.
infinitives.
Okay.
Chicos, les paso lista rápidamente, ¿va? Porfa. Mm, Arturo,
Present, teacher.
Natalia,
Which? Natalia.
Ayala, Favela,
Present.
Natalia. Karen Lisette,
Present.
Alonso,
Present.
Itzel,
Present.
Montserrat,
Present.
Carla, Edith, César, Jacqueline, Eduardo, Vanessa, Karina,
Here, teacher.
Daniel,
Present.
Carla, Fernanda,
Present.
Natalie,
Here.
Ricardo, Guadalupe
Here, teacher.
y Samuel.
Here, teacher.
Ok. No sé. ¿Quién faltó la semana pasada?
Me. Carla.
Carla. Creo que fuiste la única que faltó, ¿verdad?
Es que hubo un problema porque es que me había registrado, pero la
Ajá.
chica del CELEX pues me puso en dos grupos y le dije y ya no me contestó porque según ella ya no había llegado mis comprobantes. Pues
Ok.
ahí el viernes ahí estaba arreglándome con ella, pero pues no me contestó. Ujú.
Ok. Bueno, ya te tengo en lista. Don't worry. Okay, 4 minutes, and then we are going to talk about infinitives and ing forms. Infinitives and ing forms. There are some verbs possible to use in both cases. Okay, are possible to use with an infinitive and not possible with ing forms. As Lupita said previously, infinitives is when you have your verb in the simple form but with the preposition to before writing the verb. To catch, to catch, to catch, to swim, to play, to clip, to bark, to book, to plant, to water, to park. Two, ing forms with ing only at the end. Whipping, sweeping, cooking. Those are the ing forms. But what are the differences or what are the similarities for these two kind of verbs? like this one. First of all, remember the gerunds or the ing forms is like this one in Spanish. Ando, endo, right? Jugando, comiendo, riendo, saltando, brincando, apapachando, besando. Those are the meanings with ing forms, right? Instead of the verb. It says, we use the gerunds after a preposition, of course.
Teacher, this presentation, this is in the classroom?
Yes,
not?
of course. Yes, it's in classroom.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, teacher. Thank you.
Right. So it says, we're gonna write a verb with ing after a preposition. I want to prepare, or I want to bake a cake for having dinner. For is a preposition. Having.
Mhm.
Or, for example, I used to take a long time for finishing done my homework. Tardo mucho en terminar mi tarea. I take a long time for finishing or for completing my homework. No, as I told you, like an object on a sentence. In this case, it's not necessary to write I am working, I am having. You only use, in this case, you only use the verb with ing. It's a real situation. Being starving for a long time is so bad. Or studying French is better to increase my career. Estudiar francés hará que tenga un ascenso en mi carrera. Studying, crying. No? And look at this. A V complement. In this section or in this row, yes, it says a V, a complement, is in a continuous tenses. Present perfect continuous and present continuous or present progressive. I am working. Why? Because first of all, you use am is are. Is are, and then your verb with ing. And of course, but first of all, you have this one, your subject. You, he, she, my friend, my girl, my dinner, my wife, my whoever you want. I am cooking. She is cooking. We are cooking. This is the rule. Be plus the complement with ing form, or like in present perfect, continuous. You know, I have been cooking. She has been learning. So there's this one with continuous actions. All right, and okay. Or you can use in past progressive or in past perfect continuous. I was cooking. She was crying. We were parking the car. No, she had been baking a cake. I had been booking a new hotel for my next holiday. Or maybe it's possible to use with the future continuous. I will be working next year. Will you be traveling? Will you be traveling to France? I want to be speaking French to you. I will have been writing an email for the president. Will she have been speaking loudly? You use continuous tenses with ing forms. No? So look at this. What happened with the infinitives is, as you said, and the verb, the preposition to, and the simple form of the verb. But we have another kind of infinitives. With the verb infinitive, for example, will, can, may, and you have your verbs. Play, cook, will play, will cook, can play, may cook. It doesn't matter what kind of modal verb. You can use it in present or in past. Your verb always be in present simple. These are the separated usages with infinitives and the ing forms. Well, look at this. Starting a sentence and after certain verbs. What did you research about this ing forms occurring after certain verbs? Or what happened, or how is possible to write the ing form and infinitive form starting a sentence? How can I write it? And you have this. The examples, as I told you a moment ago. So the infinitives. No. To book, to eat. I want to eat. I want to play. I want to swim. I want to book a new holiday for next year. So this is the full infinitive. Why? Because you have two previously a verb. No, and of course the verb infinitive when you have the simple form of the verb. And of course, in this case, you have to use a modal verb. May, would, should, could, have to, got to, have to, want, will, did. It's like in past simple or in present simple. Do you like playing soccer? Do, for example, in this case, no. Do you like? This is the very infinitive in this case. Why? Because you have to in this. The is your modal verb. And remember the verb infinitive, your verb in the simple form. No, or what happened with the ing? Remember, ing, the gerunds, always going, being, dining, eating, in a simple way. So these are the infinitives, and those are the ing forms. Questions until here.
Teacher, what is the meaning of MB?
Of what?
Or in verb infinitives, what is the meaning of MB?
Modal verb.
Oh, okay.
It's a modal verb. So, kids, let's go to the recess, okay? And when they get back, we continue with finitives, infinitives, and ing forms, okay?
Okay.
Okay, teacher,
If you have taken lunch, bon appetit.
Thanks, teacher.
Thanks.
You are welcome. We continue, guys. Okay. We were talking about infinitives and ing forms. All right. Well, let's before continuing with the topic, it's important to recognize that on April 9th, right? On April 9th, we have the first exam, the middle exam. So next class, we're gonna make a review. We're gonna make a dynamic with reviewing the grammar, the vocabulary, right? But it's important that in next class, if you have some questions how to doubts, it's important to write your number and ask me. Okay. Next class, we're going to practice listening, writing, reading, and speaking. Great. Previously, your middle exam, and the next week I am going to share, I want to give you instructions about what are you going to give me for your speaking test. Right? Let me organize, because I have the idea. I have the idea to get out your speaking test, but I don't know. I'm not sure if you're gonna do in person, individually, or in teams. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to practice this. So another tools is the next class. I am going to share different materials to study for the exam. Okay, extra information and extra exercises to practice by yourselves. Okay, and getting more basic for your middle exam. Yeah, who wants to know? Who wants to tell something? Nothing. Nobody. Okay, so I want to share with you some information, extra classes, extra some links about how to ask what to do previously, during, and before and after each ability. How to study for your grammar, how to study for your speaking, how to study for your writing, how to study for your listening, and what you have to do during the exam, and what I have to do after finishing your exams. Okay, and we are going to practice a listening for this. In this case, in the listening, you are going to hear some tips over how to study for your exam. Write it. Okay, so we continue. Have you ever played this workshake? In this case, it's a square, all right? It's a square with 16 letters. And with these letters, you have to form words between 3 and 7 letters. But you have 3 minutes to form the most quantity of words as possible. Have you ever played this? With this activity, you can practice your vocabulary, the vocabulary that you learned in previous sessions, and vocabulary you drive, or you have, or you use in the English language. So let's make a competition. Students, you versus me. If you win, Brenda, if you win, guys, you don't have homework this week. Perhaps I win, you have homework this week. Do you take the risk? But remember, you work in team to form the most quantity of words. So it's easy, Carla, to win in me. Si ganan, se van sin tarea esta semana. Si yo gano, se van con tarea esta semana. Trabajen en equipo. Un tablero con 16 letras. 3 minutos. Formar la mayor cantidad de palabras que puedan, entre 3 y 7 letras. Who wants to start? You or me?
This activity is in classroom, teacher?
No, it's an extra material I have.
Okay.
No, pero les puedo dar el link. Les puedo dar el link para que practiquen vocabulario. All right? So, Carla, do you want to start? You and your team want to start? Ay, come on, Carla. It's so easy. I start. Ok. 3 minutos, 16 letras, formar la mayor cantidad de palabras entre 3 y 7 letras. And it says, eso sí, es el tablero que les toque, ¿eh? Es el tablero que les toque. Ok, entonces, it's my turn.
Very word, teacher. Teachers, your microphone.
Teacher, your microphone.
Aquí es por puntos, chicos. Hice 30 puntos en 3 minutos. En equipo. Superen 30 puntos en 3 minutos.
Pase el link, profe.
¿Mandé?
Pase el link.
¿Cómo?
Me pase el link.
No, aquí se los voy a poner.
Ay,
Después les paso el link si quieren. ¿Listos? Superen 30 puntos en 3 minutos. It says, come on.
Small.
Okay, you're missing one. Later.
Red.
Fall.
Read.
Goose.
dog.
Okay, it's not good. It's done.
Man.
Okay.
Real.
Golf.
Real.
Some
Bull.
teacher.
Okay, gone.
Golf.
Yes, gone.
Man.
No, golf. The golf.
Like
Wow.
soccer. Okay, now
Soccer.
it's now in the
No,
goal.
and golf.
Goal de meta. Goal.
Yes.
Goal.
All de
Goal.
Some
Golf.
teacher.
Golf with an F at the end.
Okay. Golf. Okay.
Jam.
Teacher. So real.
Okay, real.
Red.
No, you just said red.
Jam.
Alt.
Okay, you said odd.
False.
Coffee.
Dog.
Just say dog. One more time.
False.
False. False. Yes.
Okay, this is false. Okay. Now, come on.
Soon.
Alt.
Jam.
Soon teacher. S-O-O-N.
Halt. Medio.
Okay, Zan. What is this? Which one?
Cota. Baby.
No. Nerd.
Nerve? With this one? No.
Max.
B. Nerd.
Okay, Max. Come on, students, come on.
J-A-M.
Jan.
Halt.
Okay. Okay, how?
G-O-O-E. Goal.
Help.
Okay, the cooler golf. Okay. You're gonna win.
Man.
Rich.
Which one?
Rich.
More. Teacher. More.
No, no, Rich.
Rich.
Okay.
R-A-C-H. Rich.
No, not Rich.
Near. And
I'm sorry. 22 points and 3 minutes. Not so bad, God. Not so bad. Itzel, les voy a dar la revancha. I'm going to give you the revenge. Itzel, escoge a uno de tus compañeros.
Oh my God. No
Who do
sé.
you want?
¿Quién sea?
A quien tú quieras.
Arturo.
Ok. Tocayo, de ti depende de que se lleven o no se lleven tarea, ¿eh?
oh, damn it.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
You versus me. ¿Confían en Arturo?
Oh, yes. No.
We help?
Everything for Arthur,
Me or your partner?
the profe.
Ah, me. O sea que, ¿confían más en mí que en su compañero?
No.
Ok, entonces, Arturo, depende de ti de que se lleven o no se lleven tarea. Of course.
I try.
Okay, you can do it better. ¿Empiezas tú o empiezo yo? Te voy a dar chance de que empieces tú.
For education, I prefer you start, teacher.
Ah.
Because but I am the teacher, I decide.
It's your game.
Of course. Okay, I start. So, the same rules. Okay, the same rules. It says,
Um, call.
me. You are me, sir.
I don't listen.
¿Quién empieza, tú o yo?
Sorry.
So,
I don't listen about instructions.
The teacher, you please.
okay, I start. Okay, I it's difficult. It's too difficult. It's difficult, this one. Come on. No, I have no. Uh, Let's try here. Entra. No, come on. No. No, I'm sorry. Because it was difficult. It was difficult. Yeah. So, Arturo, 14 points.
No, sorry.
14 points. I did 14 points in 3 minutes. It's
Okay.
your turn.
Okay. Mm, Rule? Start? Start? Started? Oh, no. Mm. Turks? Turks? Like the music? Fat? Rat? Out? Out?
Bien por Arturo.
Yeah, that's a clap for you. Es un empate, chicos. Come on. We continue, and at the end, you are gonna get one more time the revenge. So in this case, it says infinitives and ing forms. Okay. We were telling that the basics of how to form the infinitives and the ing forms, all right? Like this one, okay? You can use, of course, the ing form and the infinitive with this usage starting a sentence, okay? In this case, or in the case of the ing forms, All right, in case of the ing forms or the say like the gerunds, is for example when you start like an object. For example, in this case, making the bed is awesome. In this case, you use the ing like a subject. Making is a real situation. It's a fact. All right. But what happened to use like like infinitive? Using the same example. To make the bed is awesome. In this case, when you use the infinitive like a subject, is a possibility or you want to mention a probability. To study English, I need or I have to make a registration in a school. It's like in Spanish, guys. Para aprender inglés, me tengo que inscribir en una escuela. To have or to learn English, it's necessary to make a registration in a school. It's a possibility, it's a probability, or could be a suggest or an opinion. The opposite, like ing, it's a real situation. Making a study in English is necessary. It's an obligation. You have no option to choose. No, and of course, what happened with the definitive was showing the purpose. It's the same way. To pass the exam, you have to study very hard. Para que pasen el examen, tienen que estudiar. It's a necessity, in this case, using definitive with a showing a purpose. No, or given instructions. To prepare, to bake. Is when you want to make a or you want to prepare on a specific book on a specific food. It's the same with these ones. But now look at these guys. Starting a sentence is the same in meaning. With ing, cleaning is hard. It's a real situation. It's obvious. Walking to work every day, oh, I'm so tired. It's a mess. Caminar al trabajo todos los días. Ay, come on. And look at this. To produce it with infinitives. To love, to admire with the herd. Or to admire is to love with the herd. It says, and it's a suggest. To love, to admire, and I feel it good. I feel extremely in love. This is infinitive. Well, no, what happened if I say, hey, Arturo, win the race, please. Win. It's a necessity. It's an obligation. It's an order. Win the race. Gana la competencia. You have different meanings using the infinitives. To win the race, no, because it's an order. It's a direct statement. Pita, don't forget to remember me on holiday. No se te olvide acordarte de mí en vacaciones, ¿eh? It's a supposition, or it's a suggestion. It's my opinion. Don't forget to remember me on holiday. I don't know what you are going to do, but don't forget that, okay? The usages, infinitives, and ing forms. Questions until here? No questions. Okay. Look at this table. There, you have verb plus ing and infinitive. Verbs plus ing, verbs plus infinitive, verbs plus object plus infinitive, verbs plus ing or infinitive. To know this, it's important to recognize what kind of verbs are possible to use in this. In this case, verb plus ing. In this case, you can use the static verbs love, stop, like. But remember, you can use these verbs or the other verbs if you have this, like this one. Learning a language involves studying a little bit every day. When you have these verbs, and if you want to write or you want to use a second verb, the second verb is with ing. For example, like this one, involves studying. Aprender un idioma significa estudiar un poquito más o más todos los días. Involves studying, implica estudiar. And you have this rule, verb plus ing. And of course, these are some verbs with the rule. There are lots of. But I consider or I think these are the principal or the most common verbs using with this rule. Verb plus ing. Okay? And look at this. Verb plus infinitive. It doesn't matter if you use present, past, future. It doesn't matter. The verb or the sentence you want to do, you can use important to do the rules. For example, verbs plus infinitive. Remember, full infinitive. To walk, to study, to drink, to sound, to ring, to talk, to block. agree, ask, decide. Reconocer o identificar cuáles son esos verbos que van seguidos de un infinitivo y cuáles son los verbos que van seguidos de un ing. Esa es la clave de este tema. Si ustedes manejan, por ejemplo, con que manejen estas dos reglitas, están del otro lado. No, it's like Axel Rose says in his song, no? I hate to look in your eyes. Hate to. You use the full infinitive. Or, like Phil Collins says in Tarzan film, I can't stop loving you. This is ing form and infinitive. If I can't stop loving you, my life finishes. Si pudiera dejar de amarte, mi vida se acabaría. O mi vida se acaba. If I can't stop loving, static verbs. Yes. But in this case, you have a static verb with a previous verb. So it's possible to use a static verb with ing. I like having a new girl. Like, have, static verbs. But you use together. I like having. I like to have. You say this. Like. Ing or infinitive. And the meaning of the sentence is the same. This is the key, guys, in this topic. Which verbs must use with ing and which verbs must be used with the infinitive? The verb infinitive is easy. In the future simple, subject, will, and the verb. This is the verb infinitive. Present simple in negative, subject, don't, doesn't, and your verb in simple form. Well, the teacher says, when I have a modal verb, my main verb is with verb infinitive. So, how is possible to use I have to learn? Because how is possible to use like a modal verb? Or not? I have, tengo. In this case, it's a verb. I have to, you have to. Tienen que, tengo que. No, so it's not necessary to use have like a modal verb. In this context, have is a verb. It's a poor verb. I have to, full infinitive. She gets to, because it's she need. It's the same. But need could be a modal verb about a necessity, an obligation. You need to visit the doctor. Yeah, the job will come out. It's a full infinitive because they use need and to. And remember, when you have the verb do, the verb need, the second verb is infinitive. Ah, but the students are right. They got reason. I am mistake. I'm sorry, students. Don't worry, teacher. Here you are, the infinitives and the ing forms. What happened, Alonso? Porque les veo como con cara de que no me capicharon el tema de los infinitivos. Another rule when you use the full infinitive or the to plus the verb is when you use the verb to be. Or after an adjective. It's hard to say I'm sorry. It is hard to. The verb is S, the verb to be, and the second is to say. It's hard to say I'm sorry because I am not filled with my girlfriend. This is another case when you use the full infinitive. Question with this, guys.
Let's do exercise, teacher, for more clear.
Okay, yes, if you want. Yeah, so. Please open your book. So let's go with the book. All right. Page 89. Please go to page 89. And this is the infinitives and the ing forms. It says, for example, number 1, and hopes to go. I hopes going to the wedding. Sally seems to be enjoying her new job. The curry was too hot. Eating or eat. You have, in this case, you have a verb to be. Where is it? Yes. When you use or when we have the verb to be, I'm sorry, past, present, Present perfect. So the second verb,
Is ing. Ing.
ing. To eat. Siempre que tengan un verbo to be y vayan a manejar otro verbo, siempre y cuando no sean continuos. To eat. The curry was too hot. Dices, oye, el postre estaba muy caliente para comer. Si solamente tuvieran, ojo, the curry was eating. El postre estaba comiendo o estuvo comiendo. ¿Realmente un postre se puede comer por sí mismo?
Oh, no, no.
No. So in this case, you use the full infinitive. ¿Ya capicharon la diferencia? Lo pueden manejar por contexto. El postre estaba comiendo. So in this case, you use the full infinitive. So number one, guys, Anne has to go or Anne has going to the wedding.
Going?
To go is to go to the wedding. Y ya tienen un verbo más para agregar a su lista de full infinitive. Sally seems enjoying or to be enjoying her new job.
Enjoy.
To be enjoying.
To be enjoying?
Yes.
Of course. Mark claims to have been or having been away from home on the night of the fire.
To have been.
To have been. Mike can't stand dancing or Mark can't stand to dance.
Can stand. Dancing, teacher.
Stand with ing. John denied to have told or having told a lie.
To have told.
Having told.
Having told? Yes, of course, having told. They appear
To be working.
they appear to be working. Of course. After to have eaten or after having eaten, the wedding guests started to sing and dance. You have a preposition. After.
Having eaten.
Of course,
Having
having eaten. Having eaten. After eating, after having eaten. Después de comer, el coro comenzó a cantar y a bailar. More clear? So please go to your workbook. Workbook page 48. Go to your workbook page 48. More practice. Infinitives and ing forms. Who wants to try? Itzel, number 1.
The gas upper to enjoy the wedding.
No, it's to be enjoying.
Okay.
Okay. Samuel, number 2.
After having watched the ceremony, the guests congratulate the happy couple.
After having, of course.
Because
Alonso, number 3.
preposition, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It was too hot to dance at the wedding.
Why was verb to be? Lupita, number 4, please.
Yes, teacher. The bride expects everyone to be wearing traditional clothing to the wedding.
For sure. Carla, a ver, Carla. Number 5. Number 5, the couple claims. Met, to have met.
Teacher, I have
Yes.
a question in the sentence number 8. There is a verb to be after the next verb should be in infinite. Okay.
Siempre que
teacher,
maneje. Oh. Ojo. Aprenda, aquí es donde tenemos que aprender a diferenciar. We have to learn how to make a difference between the present continuous and the full infinitive. When you have a full infinitive or the infinitive using the verb to be is a purpose. Present continuous, you emphasize the action. Be careful with that. Karina, number 6.
I can't wait to eat the traditional dishes at the wedding.
Of course. A ver, Fernanda, Carla,
Mm,
number 7.
look, the couple seems to be having a great time.
Of course. And the last, Arthur, Cayo. After they have danced for the first time, the couple cut the wedding cake.
Having dance?
Why? Well, in this case, you have definitive to have.
No. Because after a preposition,
Mhm.
write the verb with gerund or ing.
For sure. After. Después de una preposición, after a preposition, the verb always be with ing. Whatever kind of preposition. Or like the famous song says, I'm tired to toe in the line. Estoy cansado de seguir la línea. I'm tired to towing the line, rowing the line. ing form.
Teacher,
Yes.
what page is the exercise on?
It is on page 48.
48.
It is on page 48. Workbook.
Workbook.
Good. Yes. Questions with ing and infinitives. Questions? No questions. Okay, there are no questions. Good. Violeta, what is a modal verb? Or how many types of modal verbs are there? What is a modal verb? And how many types of adverb or modal verbs are there in the English language? Or what are the most common modal verbs?
Can, must, could,
Okay, could, can,
May.
must, may.
might,
Shall, may.
Can?
Which one? Can? You said can?
Mhm.
Okay. Can, could, would, should, must, may, might, have to, have got, get to, of to. Those are the modal verbs. But what is a modal verb? Do you remember what is a modal verb?
Auxiliary verbs.
Are different, but okay, in some cases you can use like an auxiliary verb. But what is a modal verb? Okay, for example, we have modal verbs for a suggest, for an ability, for a possibility.
For a possibility.
Okay. So what is a modal verb?
Verbs for express possibility.
Of course, that are modal verbs. Modal verbs are word phrases that express a possibility, a suggest, an opinion, a necessity, and an obligation. And some modal verbs you can classify in a different usages, like must, like a necessity, or like an obligation. Should, like an obligation. You don't have to use a scholar uniform when you study at ESCA. It's not a necessity. No, no usan uniforme escolar cuando están en ESCA. You have to use a scholar uniform when you started the elementary school. It's a necessity. Why? Because it's necessary and it's an image of the school. That is a modal verb, girls and boys. Yeah? So, in this case, modal verbs about deductions, possibilities, probabilities. Must, may, could, can't. We use a modal verb for deduction when something is true using the available information. Or when we want to know if the action is a possibility or a probability. It's like in the maybe June or July. If I say, Natalie, look at the sky. It's cloudy. Ah, yes, it could rain or it may rain. Because the action probably happens. Why? Porque sabemos que cuando está nublado, llueve. ¿Verdad? Está nublado, pues sí, podría llover. It could rain, it may rain. Puede llover, podría llover. That is a modal verb or deduction. A probability. No, or like for example, look at Lupita, what she does. She is looking for her material. Why? Because if she doesn't look for her material, she couldn't study in the session.
Teacher.
Excuse me, well, because the light, your word don't listen very well here. It's my internet.
Yeah. ¿Qué pasó, Carla?
I have a question. In the sentence can be I identify like adverbs of yes, adverbs of time. This in the sentence I can identify what infinitive that can use. Yes. Or no?
I know it's different. An adverb. Remember, an adverb is
No,
the way
yes.
you do something. Okay, but it's possible to write. I just no te entendí entonces.
Bueno, está bien en español. Que si en la oración yo puedo identificar dependiendo si va el tú o el ing, dependiendo si tiene un adverbio de tiempo. Porque bueno, en las oraciones anteriores yo vi que el ing lo usábamos cuando tenía se veía algo del tiempo en la oración. O no al revés.
Like in the present progressive?
Ajá.
Yes, but it's different.
Okay.
Ahí tu contexto es diferente. Porque ahí estás usando tal cual un tiempo. Estás especificando la acción. ¿En qué tiempo es esta acción? Esa acción. Ah, pues en este momento. I am writing.
Okay.
I am writing. Son cosas distintas.
Okay.
Okay. So, in this case, must, could, may, and might. The principal modal verbs of deduction. We use must when we are sure that something is true. If, for example, when Carla says, Samuel, okay, Samuel, here you are, my direction of my house. Oh, and it's so close. It's very easy to arrive there. This must be her house. You are sure the house is real here, is really her. This must be her house. Because I can see her car in the garage. I identify that blue car. This is her house. But you're sure on the real, it's a real situation. Or you must live near here because you aren't never late. Deben de vivir cerca porque nunca llegan tarde. Must is a real action, it's a real situation according to the rest of deduction. May, might, and could. First of all, remember can and could. pasando con ella? Or he's not answering. He's never, or he's not answering. I called Lupita many times and she never answered me. I come. Maybe she could be in class with her favorite teacher. I don't know. Is it true? Do you know that Lupita is in class? No. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't listen to the cell phone. Or she forgot the cell phone at home. You have different situations. May is more formal than may. You can use might and could for the same meaning like may, but may is formal. It's polite. Might may is more common to use in writings that instead of in the speaking. Might, may and could tienen el mismo significado, pero digamos que may es más formal, sobre todo cuando nosotros nos estamos expresando verbalmente. Might y could de manera escrita de una manera informal. ¿Ok? Question with this. Can't. When something is impossible. It can be easy for him looking after 3 kids on his own. It can't be far now. We have been driving for hours. So this is the modal verbs of reduction. For example, the house isn't hard to find. It's the red one at the end. You must miss it or you might miss it. It's a probability. So which of these modal verbs are the truth?
You must.
You must. Okay. What an amazing trip. You must have some incredible photos. You might have some incredible photos, or you can't have some incredible photos.
You might.
Because it's real. That must be the vegetarian option. That may not be the vegetarian option. It's got chicken in it. Or that can't be the vegetarian option. It's got chicken in it.
That can be the veterinarian option.
Can't? Okay, let's check then. Have you got your passport? I'm not sure. If you'll be need, buy. They can't ask for ID. Or they might ask for ID. They must ask you for ID.
Might.
You might.
Yes, might.
Okay. Might, okay. Who left their laptop on my desk? It must be males. Who left their laptop on my desk? It could be males. Who left their laptop on my desk? It can't be males.
It's cool.
Can't.
Could?
Can't.
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 Yes.
Yes.
Can't.
Okay. Samira has flu. We don't know yet, but she must need to take the whole week off. She can need to take the whole week off, or she may need to take the whole week off.
She
must.
may. No, she may.
May?
Yes, because it's a possibility or something that we can we are not sure that could happen.
Okay. Your watch says a different time from mine. One of them must be wrong. One of them could be wrong, or one of them may be wrong.
Must.
Must. Que ve. Look at that bird. Maybe it isn't an eagle or it must be a vulture. Look at that bird. Maybe it's an eagle or it could be a vulture. Look at that bird. Maybe it's an eagle or it can't be a vulture. Could. Okay, so let's check. No, you say one. Okay, you must, you're true. Okay, you are right. Okay, you're fine. Of course. Oh, come on. What an amazing trip. In this case, is you must. You must, because it's a necessity. No me digan que cuando se van de viaje no toman fotos. So, you must. In this case, is must. The house isn't hard to find. It's the red of one or N. You might. Yes or no? Questions with modal verbs. I am going to share with you in an extra material what is a modal verb and the different classification and a modal verb and their usages. Okay? Don't worry. So, do you have questions in this?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, Brenda, tell me your
To
questions.
repeat when you scan.
Can't.
Can.
Okay, can't, could, couldn't. Commonly, we use can or could when we express a possibility or an ability. You can speak English, but you can't speak French. You could miss a train if you don't be on time in the station. En el segundo ejemplo, te estoy diciendo que lo vas a perder si no te apuras. Entonces, posiblemente lo hagas o posiblemente el tren lo vayas a perder. ¿Por qué? Porque estoy expresando la posibilidad, la probabilidad. O cuando utilizas una habilidad, es algo que realmente puedes hacer o realmente tienes. Esa es la diferencia entre can y could cuando los utilizas para una deducción, una posibilidad, una obligación y para algo que realmente tú tienes o sabes hacer. Repeat your questions. Adriana, Daniel, Violeta, Fernanda, Alonso, Natalie, Carla, Samuel, Daniel, Arturo, Lisette, your questions.
Teacher, but could I can use could for future ability, right? For example,
No.
Tomorrow I could earlier.
Yes, you can use could in future, of course. Aquí en el ejemplo que está dando Samuel, chicos, ya tienen ahí sus dos vertientes. I could be late. No podría llegar tarde. Could be late. Ahí está manejando tanto realmente que él va a llegar tarde, como dices, híjole, si no me apuro, sí lo voy a hacer. Para futuro. O en pasado. If I was if I didn't do my homework, I could have a bad note. Si no entregaba mi tarea, pude haber tenido una mala calificación. You use it in a real past, con una probabilidad, con una posibilidad.
Teacher, that was a third conditional, right?
Which one?
La que acaba de decir usted, that was the third conditional with
Yes.
the real past.
Of course. Entonces, ¿se dan cuenta cómo ya están empezando a hacer la transversalidad de sus tiempos gramaticales uno con otro? Están utilizando una condicional con una deducción de un verbo modal. Eso es lo que quiero que hagan, chicos. Ustedes mismos ya se están dando están dando lo que necesitan para el examen. Por si no lo notaron o no lo han notado. Y sí, Alonso. And you can use the same, you can combine future simple with modal verbs of deduction. Good. Might. Past, present, and future.
Teacher,
With this, so, yeah, tell me.
teacher, for example, today, when I finish my class, I must go to the dentist. It's okay. Today, when I finish this class, I must go to the dentist. It's a true, it's real, it's must.
It's a truth, but in this case, you use must like a necessity.
Because I have an appointment.
It's a necessity.
Entonces es I may be o I might.
Ojo, cada verbo, un verbo modal puede tener diferentes usos. En el caso de Lupita ya dice, cuando termine la clase, debo ir al dentista. You must go. It's an obligation.
Obligation.
Entonces, si tú lo quisieras manejar como una probabilidad, you must go to the dentist. Si manejas el primero, dices, bueno, sí tengo que ir, porque estás obligada a ir, pero realmente no estás diciendo el por qué tienes que ir. Pero si yo te digo, o si me dices, híjole, ¿sabes qué crees? Porque me duele la muela. You must go to the doctor. Ahí ya te está cambiando el contexto. Probabilidades y obligaciones.
Okay.
Yes? Another one? No? We continue in this case, or in this case. Please, student book, Page 88 and 89. Page 88 and 89.
The student teacher.
Yes, student book. Yes, please, the student book.
Infant, 1 to 12 months. Toddler, 1 to 2 years. Child, 2 to 12 years. Teenager, 13 to 19 years. Adult, 20 plus. Middle-aged, 40 plus. Elderly, 60 plus.
One more time.
Infant, 1 to 12 months. Toddler, 1 to 2 years. Child, 2 to 12 years. Teenager, 13 to 19 years. Adult, 20 plus. Middle-aged, 40 plus. Elderly, 60 plus.
Infant, toddler, child, teenager, adult, middle-aged, elderly, get a promotion, have a familiar reception, live at the chance, sanctify, steamy hat, greed, and tradition. A new vocabulary, girls and boys. Infant, it's a baby, as you can hear, as you could hear. Toddler, infancia temprana. Child, well, teenager, when you study the middle high school. Adult, when you become in fighter or in motor. Middle-aged, es los famosos adultos jóvenes. Get a promotion is, for example, when Andrea works like a waitress, and her boss says, Andrea, you're not going to be a waitress anymore. You are going to organize the cafeteria. You increase your level in your job. Cuando son promovidas a un ascenso o tener un ascenso laboral. ¿No? Have a family reception. I welcome. No? Or when some of you get married and you're in the party, this is, welcome here, you're less. Lupita, welcome back, Lupita. You can pass and you can take yourself for the order getting no. Live at the chance. Make decisions. Take decisions. Signify.
Teacher, please.
Yes.
Set me, please, a sentence using the phrasal verb. PHR is phrasal verb. Teacher?
Which one? Be.
Live at the chance. Y luego, en paréntesis, PHR is phrasal verb.
No.
No?
PHR, frase.
Okay.
Phrase.
Phrase.
Have a
Phrase.
final reception.
Please send me a sentence using this phrase.
For example, when I got married, I decided to get a family reception at night. Después de casarme, la recepción fue en. This is have a family reception example.
Okay, teacher. Is the next phrase live at the chance?
Okay, live at the chance when you take decisions. Lupita, do you want to be my new boss?
Repeat, please. Do you want to?
Do you want to be the boss in my enterprise? In my company?
Okay.
You say, you don't have time to tell me the answer. This is live at the chance.
Okay.
Tomar decisiones en el momento.
In this moment. Thank you,
In
teacher.
this moment. Yeah. Signify, apreciado, significativo. All right. Steaming hot. As for example, when a girl or when girls sleep on the beach, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours sleeping down the sun. It's like in Spanish, híjole, si se queda ahí acostada en la playa se va a rostizar. This is steaming hot. This is steaming hot, right? Or for example, a very common situation when we are teenagers or when we study the middle of high school. Hey, Natalie, it's 1 o'clock and you use jacket, gloves. O la frase muy común cuando alguien está usando sudadera o gorra a la 1 de la tarde ya está haciendo un calor. ¿Qué le dicen? Quítate esa gorra o quítate esa sudadera que te vas a qué.
Azar.
Aparte.
Azar, ¿no?
Aparte. Quítate esa gorra que te vas a empiojar.
¿Cómo se dice eso? Empiojar.
This is steaming hot.
Is the same?
Yeah.
Steaming hot. Oh.
Yeah.
Rostizar o empiojar.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're steaming hot. Te vas a empiojar si no te quitas esa gorra. This is steaming hot.
When una person use the same water, no, teacher? or when the person don't take a shower.
And of course. Hazte para allá que hueles a rayos.
Okay.
No, these are common phrases. No, and this is the meaning. And these are the meanings for streaming hot.
Okay.
Okay. Great. And when you say hi, hello, goodbye, see you. Okay, greetings or saying goodbyes. Okay. And tradition, for example, Día de Muertos. Now this is a tradition. Okay, because it says, I believe or custom that has existed for a long time.
I can read. Okay, thank you, teacher. Great. To say hello. O sea que podemos decir greet en lugar de decir hi.
Hi, grade. Hi, grade.
Hi, great.
Hi, grade. Hi, grade. You didn't know that. Did you? Questions with this vocabulary, students.
Yes, teacher, can you repeat it so for the leap at the change?
It says to accept an opportunity quickly and eagerly. Un ejemplo muy claro. Por ejemplo, cuando, I don't know, cuando Samuel le pidió a la chava que más le gusta que fuera su novia. Ella tenía que decir sí o no en el momento.
Not always, teacher.
No. And of course, not algo, no siempre las mujeres dicen, sí o no. Luego te digo, ay, cama. Ese luego te digo, ese ruégame un poquito, no, ¿qué te pasa? Ay, come on. No?
But if the girl said okay or yes, is an example when you use the leap at the chance, because the girl said immediately your
Yes.
answer.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
That's right. Okay. More questions with this vocabulary? O cuando yo le pedí en ese momento que todavía era mi novia que se casara conmigo. Yo así esperaba que me dijera, lo voy a pensar, pero para mi mala suerte me dijo que sí. Entonces, aquí estoy con un niño de 4 años. No? That is another
Teacher,
example, Boris.
I
Yes.
like when you explain these words, these parts of the book. But in other case, for example, when you explain the structure of the present perfect or present perfect continuous, for me, it's better to see the sentences that you said, not only listen. I need to listen and see on my screen, because this form I compare the difference.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Good point. Good point for your learning. Yeah. Ya ven hasta las cosas que me hacen decir. Well, it is part of the daily life. So this is the same, right? Okay, it says, for example, Fernanda, what can you
Yes.
tell us about the Hindu culture?
The Hindu culture is
Okay.
a culture that have a religion in Buddha. Yes. Is adorable. Adorable.
Live.
What?
Live.
Live the Buddha and I don't know. The food is always with species. What does it mean? No. How can I say specials in English?
Spicy.
Spicy. Yes. I don't know. Yes, that's all.
Okay. For example, Natalie, what can you tell us about the Taj Mahal?
The Taj Mahal is a structure designed to India. Is a representation the the men are to
That tongue. What kind of a structure is a Taj Mahal? Is it a tomb or is it a church or a temple?
A temple.
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 Of course, it's a
Well,
temple.
the other conclusion is a whole if don't forget the history, talk about a person ay, ¿cómo se llama esposa? Wife about the Taj Mahal.
And is Taj Mahal is one of the seven wonders of the world?
Okay, of course. Of course. Okay, so in this case, you are going to hear and you are going to read about the Indian culture. Okay, there is a person who lived there, and that person explained what happens there. Okay, so it is on page 88. The reading is on page 88. Okay, and it says, it says,
Rite of passage. Where my best friend Alicia first invited me to go with her to her cousin's wedding in India, I leapt at the chance. A wedding is very important to Hindus because it signifies the marriage of two families, not just a couple. It sounded so exotic, and I wanted to see it for myself. When we walked out of the airport into the steaming hot day, a large group of Alicia's relatives were waiting excitedly to greet us. After having greeted grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, from the oldest to the youngest, according to tradition, we caught a taxi and I got my first taste of the hustle and bustle of Jaipur. Bicycle rickshaws bumped along beside us as I admired the architecture of the Pink City, Jaipur's nickname from the colour of its buildings. That night was the Sangeet, the first night of the wedding celebrations. The garden at the bride's house was full of brightly coloured decorations and women wearing beautiful multi-coloured saris. One of Alicia's aunts soon pulled me up to dance. Everyone seemed to know the steps, apart from me, that is. I really enjoyed watching the modern Bollywood dances. My favourite of all was the Dandidas, a traditional dance using sticks. In the past, this party used to last for about 10 days. The following afternoon it was the Mendi party. Mendi is the decoration of the hands and feet with a dye called henna. All of the women sat under a big tent, and some artists drew amazing designs on our hands. The designs last for weeks and are a symbol of future prosperity and happiness. Later, Alicia and her relatives taught me some dance steps for the wedding ceremony the following day. On the morning of the wedding, Alicia surprised me with a gift, a green and gold silk sari, and helped me to put it on. At first I felt a bit awkward, but soon I realised it was very comfortable to wear. The groom arrived wearing white and riding a white horse with a marching band closely following him. It was a spectacular entrance, but it was nothing compared to the bride. She was wearing a magnificent sari of red and gold velvet with stunning gold jewelry. Then the bride and groom sat under a mandap, a decorated tent with a small fire in the middle. During the ceremony, they seemed to be doing lots of different symbolic things, like walking around the fire or exchanging flower garlands. After the ceremony, we ate lots of traditional Indian dishes. The ones inside banana leaves were my favorite. Then it was time for more dancing. Thankfully, this time I didn't seem to embarrass myself so much. I feel lucky to have met such warm people and have experienced a traditional Indian wedding. It was like being at the fairy tale wedding of an Indian prince and princess.
So, read the text again, and for question from 1 to 5, choose the best answer, A, B, C, or D. Do you want to listen again? Or not? So, in number 1,
Is letter C?
why did the writer want to go to the wedding?
Letter B.
Letter B, because she knew it would be interesting. Number 2, on the way from the airport, what did the writer do?
Letter D?
Letter D, chatted to Alicia's relatives, is looked at the unusual buildings.
Letter C.
Yes, letter Z. Number 3, at the Zanget, the guest, what they did.
Letter B.
Take part in different dances?
Yes.
Of course. At the wedding, how did the writer sing?
In letter C, the bride's appearance.
The bride's appearance, yes, of course. And the writer suggests that by the end of the celebrations, her dancing skills had improved, she felt awkward, it got very hot, and she had good luck.
D.
No, it's not letter D. You know she had good luck.
Letter B.
No. Her dancing skills had improved. Because it says, thankfully, this time I didn't seem to embarrass myself so much. Questions with this one? Questions? No questions? Okay, exercise 5. Match the words involved in the text with their meaning. Left, hustle and bustle, exchanging, embrace, prosperity, signifies, greed, awkward, and experienced. Synonyms: will, had experience of, jumped, met, uncomfortable, humiliated, shows, busyness, and swooping.
What is a swooping?
What is what? It's
What is the last word? Swooping.
swooping. In this case, swooping is like, what do you prefer? This or this? Ah, yes, I like your sweater, and you like my sweater.
So is it changing?
Exchange. Yes, this is exchange.
Thanks.
Dices, me gusta tu suéter, a mí me gusta el tuyo. Te lo cambio. Órale, va. This is exchanging. Or sweeping, of course. So, will is like, for example, when you plant a flower, and you care it a lot, is will. Oh, it's like in December. In Spanish, Feliz Navidad y
Próspero.
of course. So in this case, wealth is prosperity, prosperidad. Yeah. Had experience of.
Experience.
Of course. Jumped. One. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 zit.
Left.
Meet. Hi, nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. Hi. Hello, good morning, good night, good evening. How are you?
Great.
Great.
Great. Yes, it's great. Uncomfortable.
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 What?
Awkward.
Yes. Omelette is, for example, when some of us fell down. He fell down.
Embarrassed.
Yes, of course. Shows. Meaning. Mean.
Show, teacher? Show?
Yeah, shows.
Uh-huh. Is the same that?
Signifies.
Signifies.
Signifies. Yes.
Signify.
Business. How can I say that girl I like her? Come on. It's easy. Yes, I try. I can. Like me. This is business. Don't like this. This. Hustle and bustle.
Hustle and bustle.
And soaping. I like your sweater. You like my sweater. Okay, so don't worry. Here you are, and then here you are. Exchanging. Yes.
Teacher, in this case, these words, there are synonyms or jerga. For example, in Mexico, the typical words or jerga words, common words, because because I don't like synonym for me.
Yes, there are synonyms.
There are synonyms.
Yes, they are synonyms. Todas estas palabras son sinónimos.
Business and hostel and bustle. Hostel and bustle is very noisy.
It's like, for example, but in this case, it's business. Afraid.
Business.
Business. I'm José Lamboso. Temblar. Estaba temblando, estaba aterrado, pavorizado. This is business of José Lamboso. All right. Questions with this one. Questions?
No question, teachers.
Okay. Um, para terminar, chicos, ¿ya decidieron cómo van a trabajar su tarea integradora?
No, teacher, me no.
No.
Please write the instruction on the classroom or more clear. Teacher? I
Van a
remember
trabajar su...
an a TV program. You said the last project, it was a TV program.
Ajá. Sí, justamente se tiene que hacer un programa de televisión. ¿Cómo lo van a manejar? ¿En parejas? ¿En equipos? ¿Individual?
In Teams, teacher. I think it's better in Teams.
Ok. En equipos.
And what to include, teacher?
Who with? En la tarea integradora, chicos, vienen puntos específicos que ustedes deben de cubrir. Pero les voy a dar la pauta para que ustedes decidan qué van a retomar o qué secciones van a tomar en su programa de televisión. Ustedes deciden cómo lo quieren manejar. Si quieren hablar, pero por lo menos dos secciones. Las que ustedes quieran. Obviamente las mujeres van a hablar de moda, eso sí. I don't know. Entonces, ya quedó que lo van a hacer en equipos.
¿De cuántos integrantes los equipos?
Somos 18. Son 18. ¿Qué les parece 3 de 4 y 1 de 3? Perdón, de 2. 3 de 4 y 1 de 2. Entonces, ¿ustedes forman los equipos?
Yes, teacher.
No.
Ustedes dicen.
Usted, teacher, es más
Yo
rápido.
no-
Fácil. Llegan ya los equipos.
Sí, usted, profe, porque
De
no
aquí
le
te
conozco a nadie.
Ok. Entonces, apúntenle ahí. Mándame.
I have team.
Ok, a ver, dime.
Lisette and Cel. We talk about terror horror program.
Ok. Entonces, déjeme anotar aquí rápido sus equipos entonces.
El programa es como los programas de estos americanos de comedia.
Ok, podría ser. Ok, podría ser un programa de esos de comedia, podría ser un noticiero. Yo me inclinaría más por uno de comedia.
Teacher, I have team.
Ok, entonces, ¿quién dijo yo? Nombres, please.
Bueno, ya mi compañero ya dijo, ¿verdad?
¿Me los puede repetir, por favor?
Bueno, no sé, el otro chico, no sé.
Pero denme nombres, por favor.
Somos Arturo, Lisette y yo.
Arturo. Ok, Lisette, ¿y quién? ¿Y quién es yo? Itzel. Ok.
Y yo tengo otro equipo.
Ajá.
Es Ricardo.
¿Dónde está Ricardo?
Ricardo Rodríguez Rubio. Ay, no está, creo que dice que no pudo estar porque tenía que ser, pero está en la lista.
Ok, Ricardo, por supuesto que Carla.
Sí.
¿Y
César,
quién más?
César González.
Ajá.
Carla y yo.
¿Y quién? Ok.
Carla, yo y
César.
Carla Fernanda.
Ok. Ok. ¿Otro equipo? Samuel, ¿con quién vas a estar?
I don't know, teacher.
¿Mandé?
I don't know. Can I choose my team?
Ok, ¿quién?
Who is missing?
Natalia, Alonso, Montserrat, Jacqueline, Armando, Vanessa, Karina, Daniel, Natalie, Guadalupe.
And the team needs of 3 persons, right?
If you want.
Okay, so who is missing again, please?
Samuel, Guadalupe, Natalie, Daniel, Karina, Vanessa, Armando, Jacqueline, Montserrat, Alonso y Natalia.
Okay, so I choose Adriana Ayala Favela.
Ajá.
Brenda Karina Orozco Camacho. Oh, Camacho, like me.
Okay.
And Guadalupe.
¿Quién, perdón?
Adriana Ayala Favela.
Ajá.
Brenda Karina Orozco Camacho, NSU 03057.
Ok. ¿Quién más?
Y Guadalupe.
Guadalupe. ¿Y tu nombre es?
Samuel. ¿El mío? Yes.
¿Quién, perdón? Samuel.
Samuel.
Okay. Queda Natalia, Daniel, Vanessa.
Teacher, Vanessa conmigo.
¿Con quién es conmigo?
Con Montserrat.
Teacher, ¿no es más fácil que haya 2 equipos de 5?
Está Montserrat. Ok, entonces Vanessa, Montserrat, Alonso, Jacqueline y Natalie. ¿Sale? Y quedaría Jacqueline, Eduardo y Daniel. ¿Sale? Así quedan los equipos. ¿Va? Mándeme.
¿Puedo repetir otra vez con quién estoy? Soy Natalie.
Natalie. Es Natalie, Vanessa, Montserrat y Alonso.
Okay, thanks.
¿Sale? Entonces, repito los equipos. Arturo, Lisette e Itzel. Natalia, Karina, Guadalupe y Samuel. Alonso, Montserrat, Vanessa y Natalie. Carla, César y Ricardo. Jacqueline, Eduardo y Daniel. ¿Sale? Esos son los equipos, chicos. ¿Va? Entonces, chicos, les voy a perdonar la tarea esta semana.
Teacher, I have a question.
Thank you.
Okay.
In classroom, is the instruction general for this activity, for the integrative task?
No, there are not.
Is free for the team. Only focus in a program TV.
Yes. Yes. Les estoy dando la libertad de que ustedes organicen su propio programa de televisión. ¿Sale? Ya les di algunas alternativas, ya sea de comedia, ya sea un noticiero, ¿sale? Pero aquí lo importante es de que ustedes ocupen la grammar y el vocabulario del curso.
Okay.
¿Sale? Como ustedes lo quieran organizar, pero que ocupen el grammar y ocupen el vocabulario del curso. ¿Sale? Chicos, sería todo. Les perdono la tarea esta semana, pero para la siguiente me la entregan doble. Cuídense, muchas gracias. Un abrazo, bonito fin de semana.
Bye, thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.